Get me that signal. We need more power.
Welcome to another Voice of E board game review. I am your host, Elliott Miller, and today we're looking at Kerflip from creative Foundry Gameworks. They describe Kerflip as the award-winning shoot-from-the-hip style word game that rewards players for making words faster than their opponents can. Featuring a unique flip scoring system, novice spellers can make small words quickly for larger points, while master wordsmiths will enjoy the challenge of identifying longer words. In fact, they'll just have to keep up. This makes Kerflip an ideal pick for families and word nerds alike. And an ingenious box design makes cleanup a breeze. Just funnel used tiles into the hidden collection cup, then pour back into the draw pouch. No more searching for lost tiles. Any way you look at it, Kerflip raises the bar on originality and fun in the word game genre. Okay, now that's how Creative Foundry describes Kerflip. Let's take a closer look ourselves. Kerflip consists of 89 double-sided plastic letter tiles that are white on one side and orange on the other. If we lift the small board, we see the setup inside the box that allows you to easily set up the game each time you play. I do like this setup. Here's the tiles. Here's the box. As typically these type of letter and word games can become tedious to clean up at times. The board is placed over the insert like this, and as you play the game, the used tiles get swept down into here and then they go into the box. Each round, let's put the tiles into the bag. Here they go. The box goes back here. Each round of the game, the players draw a number of tiles from the bag depending upon the number of players. When the players are all ready, someone shouts, "Go!" and everyone drops their tiles onto the board. The tiles are then flipped up immediately to their white side, and the players attempt to figure out a word to make them from the tiles displayed. Here we go. Mug. It's got to be at least 3 letters. Okay, mug. So, but what I do is I say the word mug, and then all the other players pick their words too, and it goes in the order that people call out the words. Nobody touches the tiles until everybody has called out a words. The words have to be at least 3 letters, and as each player chooses a word, they shout it out. Once each player has shouted out a word, the scoring phase begins. If the last player is taking too long to pick a word, you can flip up the handy dandy timer. It's a 15-second timer, and if they don't come up with a response by the time it times out, then they don't score nothing for that round. Once everyone has a word, each person scores in the order in which they called out their word. So let's pretend I said mug first for 57 people. So I write out mug. Each white tile is worth 10 points. So 10, 20, 30 points I get. And then I flip them over to the orange side to show that they're used. Let's say somebody else said tug. The T hasn't been used yet, but the U and the G have. They get 10 points for this and 5 points for each of these, for a total of 20 points. Now, some of the tiles have little tiny numbers on them. See the little number? That is if you're actually able to use that tile, and they're only on the white side of the tile. If you're able to use it, you get to draw that many bonus point cards. Here's the bonus point cards. These will help a lot at the end of the game. See, this one's worth 10 bonus points. They can make a big difference. So if you know all your X words, man, that's going to help you out big time. Finally, there's one tile called the lightning round tile. And if that tile happens to be picked, ooh, it's got points on it. If that tile happens to be picked, then the first player to call out a word that round scores the bonus points that are listed on the tile. that's how the game's played. Each round, you continue to pull. Each player continues to pull tiles out of the bag, dropping them down, making words, scoring points, and this continues until you run out of enough tiles in the bag to play out a whole round. Once you get to that point, the game's over. You add up all your points, and the player with the highest amount of points wins the game. It's that simple. If you want to see a demo of how cleanup works, you just take it, and usually there's only a couple of tiles, but you just put all the tiles in there. Shake it up, and the tiles go into the box. Then you take the box, pour it into the bag, and you're ready for another game. Woo! Kerflip reminds me a lot of the word games that I play on my phone and lose all the time. Scramble with Friends comes to mind. If you're good at it and enjoy word games, then you probably will love Kerflip. It plays quickly. Most games are done in less than 30 minutes. It's fun as word games go and makes a good family game. I was able to adapt the game to play with my 6-year-old daughter, who's in kindergarten and is just learning to spell. We still took turns drawing tiles and making words, but there was no timer, and I let her make a word first. I used the leftover tiles to try to make my own word. Then we also had some made-up scoring system using the bonus cards, but she had a lot of fun playing it, and she did practice learning how to spell. One suggestion I would make rule-wise is to not bother flipping the tiles over when you first drop them so that they're all on the white side. This avoids the problem of the players getting an early sneak peek at the tiles while they're being flipped over to their correct side. Those few seconds when there's other hands blocking some of the tiles while they're flipping them over gives a tiny advantage to the unscrupulous player. I also wish that there was a scoring pad included with the game. I hate having to go find my own paper and pencil to keep score. It makes me feel like I'm playing rummy or something like that. A pad to keep score just seems appropriate, and so it feels a bit lacking without it. This has no effect on the gameplay, of course. It's just my own opinion. Overall, if you and your family like playing word games, Kerflip is fun and can be used as an educational tool as well. Kerflip has won multiple awards, including the Best Word Game of 2013 from Games Magazine. If you don't like word games, well, then this game probably isn't for you. You can find Kerflip online for about $25 at the Foundry Games website and also on Amazon. Thanks for joining me on this episode of the Voice of E Board Game Review. I am your host, Elliott Miller, and until next time, keep your mind free.